Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 2 of Sportico Live's look at women in sports. I still tap my toes to that music. I don't know if you do, Emily. But we are, of course, helped along with our sponsors, Facebook and Goldman Sachs, once again. Jam-packed day 1. I loved every bit of it. Emily, I know you were tuning in. What stood out? What stood out to you from day 1?
I think Danny Garcia might be one of the coolest people ever. She kicked off yesterday,
right? Total
and
baller.
she's a boss. I mean, her just like business brain is so impressive, so impressive. And as for all of our speakers,
yeah, I love the way she said it was like 20% of what I do know and the 80% I don't. But I'm confident in that I'll be able to figure it out. I thought that was wonderful. I loved it. I thought Chelsea Clinton was unbelievably engaging in making it personal through her children. And what they see, what she can do through sports, what she sees they get out of sports. You don't have to be the dominant athlete because the lessons were still there to be learned.
Yeah, she was awesome too. And I think Jacob's panel that he did with Amazon and Twitter with Maria and Laura was also awesome because I think there's such a conversation right now about the importance of media and like the attention that we give to women's sports and things like that, which I love that as well.
Yeah, well, why don't we bring in Dee Haslam now, CEO of the Haslam Sports Group, managing partner of the Cleveland Browns. Hello, Dee. How are you?
Great. How are you doing? It's good to see you.
Doing wonderfully. Thank you. I love this festive collar from the Haslam Sports Group sweatshirt thing going. I love it. I mean, I can tell she's ready to go. I love it. I love it. But I am going to duck away, Dee, and let you have some time with Emily. But we do appreciate you being here. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Scott. Have a great day. Hi, Emily.
Dee, hello.
Hi.
I was just thinking as I was getting ready for this about how the last time we spoke was just after the Browns had wrapped up their season, winning season, first playoff appearance since 2002, first playoff win. And then now here we are, and you guys just had a draft. Not only did you have a pretty successful draft, it was also in the city of Cleveland. I got to ask for my boss who's from Akron, how are you feeling about the organization? What was it like having the draft there?
I'm so glad you asked that question because we're still on quite the high from the draft. Terrific event. The NFL did a great job. The city of Cleveland did a great job. All the volunteers, all the people involved were just amazing. It could not be more proud of our town and what a great job it did. And it opened up our town to people getting back downtown. It was a tremendous deal. And having the draft in Cleveland and showcasing it around the country was just very exciting for us, for our organization. And we're really proud of our draft, the Browns draft as well. We were really excited about that. So it was a really great week.
So you're feeling good heading into the summer, training camps, preseason.
Well, anything can happen, you know.
Very true. It's sports.
It's sports, but we feel really good. Yes.
Now you've got all of this going on with the Browns. You're also in the middle of an MLS season. You guys own the Columbus Crew, both of which fall under this Haslam Sports Group. As Scott said, you've got the nice logo there. Where you're CEO, and you've also got, I think, an esports and entertainment company wrapped up in all that. When you and your husband, Jimmy, first thought about getting into sports, years and years ago now, did you ever envision Haslam Sports Group evolving into what it is today?
No, I mean, we got into the NFL because we love sports. It was kind of a dream of Jimmy's. It evolved over years. Obviously, it's taken a long time to do what we've done in our businesses, but we love sports. And so the dream of having the NFL, we just started talking to people about how do you become a part of the NFL and talked to a bunch of people and found out kind of the process. And we were first minorities of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that's kind of was our entry into sports. But I think it was because we loved sports so much. And so we had no idea that we'd ever own an MLS team or build a sports corporation as a family business. It was not the intention to do that. Our intention was, wow, it would be great to have an NFL team.
Sounds like a lot of fun. I can't say I've ever owned one, but it seems like a lot of work and a lot of fun.
It has its ups and downs.
For sure.
It certainly is an adventure. It's been kind of it has kept us busy.
I can imagine you're wearing a lot of hats right now. I want to kind of take a step back to when you guys did enter the league through Pittsburgh. And I personally am a big believer that every opportunity is a learning experience. And I always find it fascinating to hear what people take with them from one job to another. And that, like I said, I can't say I've owned an NFL team or ever will, but I imagine there are quite a few differences in, being a minority owner versus being a majority owner and taking over a team and starting a rebuild. What did you take away from your time in Pittsburgh that you brought with you to Cleveland?
Well, I mean, like I said, we were looking for an opportunity to be a part of the NFL, and we were fortunate enough that we were able to start the entry in the NFL by being a minority owner in the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that was just an incredible honor for us. It was the Steelers. It was the Rooney family. I think we took a lot of things away from that. It's how, as a family, you're part of an organization, how you work together. I think we took from that experience so many things about how easy it was to be a minority owner and how we were treated so nicely, but it was not that we were involved in the operations. So if you're not involved in the day-to-day operations, you don't have that pressure. So we thought, well, okay, this is not going to be hard. We can do that. We run businesses. We can certainly run a football team if we run our businesses. And so we didn't have that inside look into how hard it was. To run the organization and build a team. We just got to enjoy it. So, I mean, the first season we were part of the Steelers, we won the Super Bowl. So, our expectations when we went into the Browns is, we can do this. This is going to be easy. We know business. It can't be that hard. Well, of course, we found it harder than that.
I was going to say, how do you feel about those expectations today?
Yeah, well, I think that, what we learned is there's absolutely no playbook for getting into the NFL, that no one hands you something to say, this is how you did it. I think we took every wrong turn. We're probably an example of what you don't do when you first get in the NFL. I'm sure a lot of our fellow people, David Tepper and the people that follow us later are like, I'm not going to do what Haslam's doing to start out. But we've grown and learned so much over the last 8 years of what it's like to operate a team and what's the best practices that you put in place. I mean, first of all, it's getting the right people in place and then aligning those people and building the strategy. So those things are just core to who we are now.
I want to ask you, now that you can look back on this since 2012, when you guys took over the team from the Learners, were there any particular changes, in approach or in strategy that you attribute to kind of getting you to where you are today? Or was there a particular pivot? Because there was a lot of turnover at one point in terms of personnel and coaches and GMs and whatnot. Was that, what changed to finally get things to start to click?
Yeah, when we bought the team from the Learners, I mean, we were so excited when we got the call that the Browns were available. One, it's, just an incredible town, a great fan base. It was actually on the East Coast, we were from Knoxville, Tennessee, so being on the East Coast made more sense to us. But we fall in love with Cleveland, and so that's been, and the fans are incredible, so that's been such a plus for us. But as far as turning points go, I mean, it was an evolution. I mean, anything you do in life, it's not a definite drop off. It's been a journey for us to kind of get involved in the football organization, understand how it works, and build the right team, get a strategy in place, and be very aligned. And I think that was the key. We have really smart people with Paul DePodesto, Kevin Stefanski, Andrew Berry. I mean, they're smart, they're strategic, they're completely aligned, as you see by the draft. The last 2 years have been, they've done an incredible job. So and Kevin was coach of the year, so
that helps.
every part of the last 8 years, and everybody that was part of our organization contributed to that. Every single person in some way, shape, or form contributed to the evolution of the Browns, and you have to give them a lot of credit. It was painful for a lot of people and for us. But I do think that we've evolved and we'll continue to work hard. It's not going to be a straight, perfect situation, as you know. Players get hurt, things happen, but we are very excited about the team we've built and where we are today. It hasn't been easy. It's still a roller coaster, but we feel very confident that we're in good shape.
Your fans seem to feel the same way, at least the ones that I know personally.
Okay.
I want to ask you about something when we talk about, the organization and kind of leading it and how you guys have learned throughout that process. One of the things that you and Jimmy did, Dee, was change the way you were titled and referred to when you guys first took over the organization. Instead of referring to yourselves as owners or co-owners, your and Jimmy's titles are actually managing and principal partners. On the surface, that it might seem like this is something small, but I think, as we all know, and especially as a journalist, I know, language is really important, and language can set a tone and dictate culture and all that. Can you tell me about that decision and how you've kind of structured your leadership approach?
Yeah, I thought it was really important from the standpoint of just our organization that we're partners. Jimmy and I are partners. We're partners within we're partners with our staff. We're partners with the players. We're partners with the fellow NFL owners. I mean, everything we do is because we're part of a partnership, and we're partners with the community. We're partners with the city of Cleveland. Everything we do kind of reflected on being a partner. And so the word ownership didn't work within our organization. And we strongly felt that reflects who we are and we're building a partnership with each other, and we're working together behind the same goals.
Along those same lines, I want to ask you about this fellowship that you guys created through the Haslam Sports Group, in terms of, you guys have, even just on paper, built one of the most diverse front offices in not only the NFL, but in, all of sports, or all of, US sports. A, how did you do that? B, why did you do that or prioritize that? And then C, you guys are now working with this Haslam Sports Group Diversity Fellowship to sort of really develop a more diverse pipeline, starting at sort of the ground level of like where people start in the league. And I want to give you an opportunity to speak to that too, because I think as an owner, you guys are from the outside being very intentional about all of this.
Yes, thank you for asking that question. I can't say that we intended to really have the most diverse front office or continue to drive diversity. We are trying to build the right culture, and the right culture is made up of a diverse organization. So that was really important to us. But we did put it together some of the really brightest people in sports, and we are very excited about the fact that we're looked to as an example in diversity. We cast a wide net. We talked to a lot of people. I think that's one of the best things you can do is when you're looking to hire someone, is spend a lot of time talking to people and casting a wide net and find as many people as you can to be part of the process. So it becomes really important to us in every hire that we continue to look for a lot of different candidates, and right now, especially diverse candidates. So we give them opportunities to rise up with our organization. So that's why we established the fellowship, because you need those experiences on your resumes, and it's hard to get kind of in those jobs. So this is a year-long fellowship for minorities and females that are people of color, I should say, and females, and they go through different departments within our organization. It's on the business side. There's a lot of more opportunities on the sports side to get into the organization, less on the business side. So we're able to establish this and to work with both the Crew and the Browns. So they have MLS and NFL experience. And we hope if it works out and they're interested, they'll want to join our organization or go to another club within the MLS or the NFL. So we're building a pipeline of really great, diverse candidates. And that's how we think we can give back and contribute and really contribute to our culture.
It starts at the bottom, that's for sure. And speaking of hiring, the big boss man who hired me is back, which means it is time for us to wrap things up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I really hate it that like when I pop up, feel like, oh, my time is up. But I come with the big hook. But that is what it is. We do have a schedule to keep. Dee, thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate the insight.
Well, I really enjoyed it. I had a great time, and thanks so much. And take care. Have a great day.